Could Google be coming out with their own netbook running Chrome OS? We asked Brad Linder from Liliputing whether that's going to happen. Times are tough, so save time and money by skipping business trips and using GoToMeeting. Visit gotomeeting.com/techpodcast and get 30 days for free. Now, much has been made of Google's lightweight OS, Chrome OS, and now we're hearing rumors on TechCrunch, Liliputing, and lots of other places that this might actually happen. Brad, what's sort of the situation here, and what would this netbook actually look like, if we know?
Well, it would probably look like a netbook. Now, it's, Chrome OS is the second foray into the operating system space. The first one was with Google Android. And, there's an advantage to creating your own netbook. And when I say creating their own, Google engineers aren't going to sit down and craft this thing and build it and, develop it themselves. They would outsource it probably to a Taiwanese company like everybody does. But they would actually be able to designate how it would look, what it would feel like, right from the top to the bottom. And so they could say, Chrome OS was designed to run on netbooks, and this is the exact type of netbook that we want it to run on. When Google first announced Chrome operating system, they said that their vision of what a netbook should be was not exactly the same as what's on the market today. They envisioned devices with slightly larger screens, larger keyboards. Does that mean an 11-inch, 12-inch model? I think it might. And their idea is that the net part of netbook is really the most important, that it needs to be designed as something that's going to get you online and let you interact with not just Google services, but all sorts of web services, and that these netbooks wouldn't actually have a lot of local storage.
Yeah.
They'd have the ability to cache some data for editing a document using an online editor like Google Docs or Zoho Office or something like that. You could actually continue to edit those documents or read them later, even if you're not near an internet connection. But for the most part, what we're talking about is a screen and a keyboard and a web browser.
Yeah, and that implies to me there'll probably be some sort of 3 or 4G internet connectivity if they're emphasizing the net part. So maybe a little bit bigger netbook. Now, where's this rumor actually coming from? I mean, it's not, you guys heard it a couple days ago, TechCrunch is hearing it today. Are people actually leaking legit information? How likely is this to actually happen?
I have a source who a couple of days ago actually contacted me to see if I knew any more than he did. So, what he was hearing from a couple of different places was that Google's pretty serious about this, they're looking into it, and my anonymous source told me that he thinks there's a 70% chance that this thing's going to be real. Now, I don't know how much weight to give that. 70% is not 100%, and my source is pretty good, but not necessarily the end-all, be-all. I was sort of holding back on reporting anything, because to me it was just a rumor, and I didn't want to go out rumor mongering until this morning when I saw that TechCrunch said multiple sources were reporting the same thing. When you combine that with what I've heard, it seems pretty likely that something's going on here. Now, it's possible that people are just misunderstanding what's going on. It's possible that Google basically came out with a reference design for a netbook and maybe has sent out a contract to have some manufacturer put together that reference design. This is something we see all the time. CES is coming up, and I know that there's a number of companies who are going to be showing up at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas with devices that they themselves will not be bringing to market.
Yeah.
Rather, they're going to have prototypes, and they're going to be looking for designers to make these things. It's possible that that's all that's happening here, but the information that I've been hearing so far is that Google wants to put their own brand name on this netbook. That's not to say that Google won't work with other companies on netbooks under different brand names. So Google Chrome OS is supposed to be due out in the second half of 2010. Of course, there's already beta versions that are floating around right now, or alpha versions.
Alpha versions, yeah. And I mean, people who really want to get a look at this can already install it themselves. So, we're kind of thinking this could be a reference design, it could be other stuff. I mean, it sounds to me like, regardless of what happens, there's some interesting times coming from Google, and hopefully, maybe it'll be like the Google phone. Like, Google will partner with HTC, and HTC will come up with a netbook. You never know. So I'm just going to throw out some random rumors there, and we'll see what happens. Anyway. Brad, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for coming on the program. Really appreciate it. Brad Linder from Liliputing, among countless other places. Brad's kind of a big deal, so that's what we call him anyway. I'm Randall Bennett. Don't forget, you can catch us on iTunes or on YouTube. This is going to be, I think we have one more show tomorrow, and then we're done for the week. And we're going to be sort of in hiatus while we retool the site coming up for the Consumer Electronics Show, where we'll be live the entire week. So we'll have a booth there. We're going to try and make Brad come by because he's a good guy. So see if we can elbow him into telling you guys what's up. Anyway, see you later.
This show brought to you by Zazzle. Use promo code TechVShow12 and get 12% off any order over $75 from Zazzle.com.